So yeah, the movie had a lot of heart, but it won't rock your world.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I pretty much agree with that.
No, it had a lot of heart, but it won't rock your world.
I heard you the first time, dude.
No, dude. Heart. Rock.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Central Intelligence is a new comedy starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart, and that's pretty much all you need to know.
So it's a bit blunt, but it's not entirely untrue, because this is I think it's a very, very funny movie, but it doesn't have a lot much more else. But I think Kevin Hart and The Rock are pretty great in this movie. Kevin Hart is not an actor who's had a particularly good track record in movies. I think he's he's one of the best stand-up comedians working currently, but he does some pretty terrible movies with the ride-along movies and that movie last year with Will Ferrell, Get Hard. But I think in this movie, the two of them are pretty great together. And look, as we've alluded to, there isn't much of a story here. It's a very bare bones kind of action comedy, buddy cop, spy kind of movie. But the movie really is about Kevin Hart and The Rock and the way they work together. And there are certainly jokes that don't land, but I think the movie has kind of a success rate of maybe somewhere between like 70 and 80%. I never thought the movie dragged too much. I thought it was a good time all around with some really funny jokes and two really good comedic actors working well together.
So, as Ed mentioned, Kevin Hart can't really hold a movie by himself.
No.
He brought on The Rock, and it really they showed a lot of dynamic between the two of them.
I think
he had like two opposites.
I think this movie, if you recast one of them, it wouldn't work. I think this movie only works because the two of them are together in this particular role.
Yeah,
in this particular movie.
They're so different. You got The Rock, who's The Rock, and then you've got Kevin Hart, like this really short guy. They have great chemistry on screen. I'll have to disagree with the momentum of the movie. I think there was way too much talking for some of the moments, just mainly between the other CIA agents and Kevin Hart, who in this film is like a innocent bystander and like is in the middle of this whole kerfuffle. And really, it's just a lot of talking and then followed by action, followed by more talking.
I think one of the problems this movie really ran into is that despite having two really big stars, it doesn't actually have that big of a budget. It only has about a $50 million budget, which isn't a lot for an action movie. And yeah, as you mentioned, the action scenes in this movie are few and far between.
Yeah.
There is a lot of talking, but I don't think it bothered me as much. I think I was just enjoying watching the two characters or the two actors working together so well that it didn't bother me so much when the movie did drag on a little bit. But yeah, like the action scenes, like there aren't many of them, and for the most part, they aren't that great. There's this one scene in an office,
building, that was great.
Office that's actually really quite inventive in a way.
You get a sneak peek of it during the trailer. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like the way they kind of use the office environment to form this action scene is pretty good. It's not, the movie isn't directed spectacularly well, and it's a few times it is a bit incoherent. But I think that scene alone, because it was so inventive, I just enjoyed it, despite the fact that the direction could have been a little bit better.
So you'd obviously go see this movie solely for the comedy. You wouldn't go see this for the, basic plot, very predictable as well.
There was a plot?
Exactly, yeah. You've got security codes, you've got...
It's a very kind of generic for the 2016, 2015 action movie. It all revolves around like surveillance and global security.
Yeah.
There's a villain here that you could literally... It's supposed to be this twist reveal of who the villain is.
As soon as you see him,
as soon as you see the actor appear, you know exactly that they're a villain. It's a really poorly handled twist.
But there was some quite creative direction when it came to some of the shots involving the villain.
The reveal is handled, like the actual reveal in the movie itself is done well. It's just not particularly surprising, and it's not really much of a twist. No. But as great as Kevin Hart and The Rock are, I do want to give a shout out to Jason Bateman, who has a very, very small part in this movie, but he is absolutely fantastic in the two scenes that he's in. Not a major character at all, but a really fantastic cameo. And even Melissa McCarthy makes a cameo towards the back end of the film, and she's pretty great in that.
Oh yeah.
So look,
I remember that.
You probably need to go see this movie for Kevin Hart and The Rock, but there is more to be enjoyed there. But just don't expect a masterpiece, because there's no story. The plot is bare bones, is putting it nicely. And it really does spend a lot of time with the characters. So If you don't like Kevin Hart and The Rock, I can say you're not going to enjoy this movie at all.
No.
But if you enjoy their movies and you enjoy their comedy or just anything they really do, I think you'll have a fun time with this movie.
Yep, so I teased this earlier last week, but my Supernova video will be definitely coming out this week. So look forward to that.
What are we going to be reviewing next week, Zach?
Next week we'll be reviewing Tarzan, The Adventures of Tarzan.
The Legend of Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Even better than The Adventures of Tarzan, The Legend of Tarzan. Yep. So guys, if you like this video, please leave a comment, like our video, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys next week.
Never get it.
You